What is up, guys? Cajun here, and we're back with another community live stream recap. This one for June 19th, 2019. So this is probably coming out the 20th, so this is yesterday's community live stream. Quite a bit. Also, this is going to be, if you're, usually a viewer of the recaps, going to be a little bit different because I'm back at home for the summer and I really don't have my computer and all set up. I don't have a desk or anything here. So we're just going to have gameplay in the background. 6/19/19, pretty good date for a community live stream. Nigel, the level designer for CFE, was there on the stream. Before everything got started, Waddy mentioned about the influencer program, which I'm a part of. He said they're still looking through applications, and if you haven't applied yet, you should probably go apply. And I'll leave the link down in the description below if you want to go type it in. It's tinyurl, tinyurl.com/cops influencer program, PROGRAMME. Again, it's going to be in the description down below. See if you can qualify for it, and if you do, going to be glad to have y'all that join. Anyway, on to what they talked about. So not really a lot of, what's it called? Not leaks, but showcases of, what's coming in the next update. It'll probably be the next community live stream. But they did talk a lot about 1.7. So first thing was first, the Armory 1887 event, new background cases and menu music. And then they were talking about the main menu music, and I kind of made a pretty stupid joke about the main music should just be a duck, because the duck meme is just rampant, especially with Nigel and his ducks in every map. Also, we're going to have to go for a hunt to see where the duck is in gallery. Anyway, more on that later. And then Waddy opened 2 cases and gets both tier 5s, Bank Heist and Sheriff. Roll the clip.
First, I mean, I really like how the dial kind of moves around. But don't know if you guys have opened some of these yet, but... Oh, cool. Very first one, I already got an AK. Bank Heist.
Nice.
Nice. I'm going to use that today. But yeah, the event's going on, I think... let me open one more. Ooh, another tier 5. That's what luck. It must be because you're here with me right now.
Maybe. I like to think that, yeah.
Alright, so you just saw the clip and rip me, am I right? I got 5 cases, or something like that. 5 cases from the giveaway that they did on Twitter, and I got Sheriff. All the other stuff, I got TRG wanted, I got SG wanted. Got another TRG, Cowhide, I think. I got something else, can't remember what the last one. Oh, bandana for the Vector. It was pretty good. But anyway, they also noted the change in the knife loadout. What the loadout used to be for knives, it was just the knife category, and you just had all the knives in there. And now they separate it. Default, remixed, not tac tool anymore, I'll get to that in a second, kukri, tactical axe, karambit, but the tac tool is now renamed to the Kabar, which I believe I saw somewhere that it was originally the Kabar. So yeah, weird name change, but cool. I'm still gonna probably call it a tac tool. And then they went more in depth on player levels and borders / icons. Hold up. Well, my parents are watching. They're watching through the blacklist. Apparently, it's the season finale, and my mom was excited about something. Which it is a really good show. Anyway, player levels and borders / icons. So. It's weird. I still don't kind of understand it, because I was like level, I think, 30 in 1.6, and then 1.7 I'm like level 10 now. But apparently every 10th level your icon will be updated, and there's different tiers. There's 10 modifications to the XP symbol. So let me try and find the picture. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you have 9 modifications. I guess you start with 0 stars, and then you get, I believe, again, 5, 6, 7, 8 stars, and then the wings, which is 9, which I guess is the 10th level. And so from level 0 to 100 is iron ranked. From 101 to 200, I guess, is bronze. And then silver, gold, platinum, diamond, master, elite. So basically just a hell of a lot of grinding to get through that. But hey, we'll see if maybe the XP is changed or if it's just going to stick with the 20,000. Maps, or whoops, I skipped a lot. Sorry. And yeah, that's all they really went into it. Every 10th level, your icon will be updated. So I guess you get nothing at the start, 1 through 10, 11 through 20. You get, or 0 through 10. Once you hit 10, you get the 1 star. Once you hit 22, 33, 4, 5. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. Then they talked a little bit about the XP change, and they basically just reiterated what was in the developer notes. The XP depends on performance in match, and with this XP requirement, there's certain requirements you have to reach, and hopefully it'll promote more active play. Excuse me. Then on the maps, a lot of stuff was said about maps, of course, because Nigel was there. He's the level designer, so he really creates all the maps. And 2 of the big map changes. First was the Plaza rework performance adjustments that they did. Looking through after reports of FPS drops and, just real bad performance, or not real bad performance, but, less optimal performance with most of the players. The map devs went and re-looked at it, which it really isn't many map devs. It's really Nigel that puts the maps together. He has a couple partners, and we'll go into that later because that was in the Q&A. But they missed a couple key things that affected performance. Nigel apologized and noticed that the technical things were fixed and that it runs a lot smoother than before. I haven't really had the chance to play it yet because I've been working the past couple days, so I haven't really gotten a chance to get on the game. But he said it runs smoother and stuff, and everything should be fixed. Of course, if it isn't, they'll go in again and try and fix it. But like he said, they found everything and it was fixed. Then they also added Gallery, the new TDM/gun game map that's themed after Legacy. So, like I said in my 1.7 update video, and like I called when I saw the patch notes, it is the upstairs to Legacy. I'll probably put screenshots of where it takes place. But it's the upstairs to A site. You have the upstairs, and then you are above A site on Legacy. It's the floor above that. There's a second set of stairs, usually where CTs will hide when they're rushing, or when Ts are rushing stairs. There's another set of stairs right in that little corner, and that's where Gallery takes place. Nigel's noticed how people are jumping over the display cases to see enemies and wallbang through them, and he likes seeing that sort of stuff. And he wanted to make this map just different, and so a lot of the display cases are wallbangable. Most of them actually are wallbangable. and you could just wall bang through them. At least in the main room, that everything's like close together. The sniping hallway, you could like pop up and down, try to hit some shots and stuff. And yeah, he just really wanted something different in the TDM map pool. And then he talked about the diffuse map that's in development. He did reassure everyone that a diffuse map is being worked on. He also said that the map team is currently working on 3 different maps. One of them is a confirmed brand new theme map. One is probably another TDM map, most likely for that theme, or Grounded or Canals. And this is not something he said. This is something I'm theorizing. The second one is probably a TDM map for either the new theme, Grounded, or Canals. I think of the only 2 left currently that don't have a TDM equivalent. And then the third one is probably a rework on Canals Legacy. Grounded? Question mark? Because I think he said that was one of the ones he didn't make later on. But yeah. And he said time will tell what the theme and how the map will play out are going to be. He said that he and the team, the small team, are working really hard to make it as much fun to play, as well as make it a competitive contender in terms of competitive play, as opposed to the other maps. He also noted that the TDM and gun game maps are easier and require less work to make. That doesn't mean that it's just copy-pasted. Just because a theme is there doesn't mean that it's just, oh, let's just copy Legacy and slice it in half and throw it in there. There you go, a TDM map. We really don't have to work for it. He talked about it a lot, especially in Q&A too, that each layout for each game mode reflects that game mode. And he said later on that, that like the layout is about 90% of the map and the theme is about the 10%. The looks and the feel of it. Or not the feel of it, but the looks and, the beauty of it are about the 10%, and the feel and the play style of it is the 90%. And that's what they think about when they're making new maps. He also said that he still needs to playtest the new competitive map with coworkers and also pro players, to get their input on stuff. And it just, he really iterated that it just takes time to balance the map and run really smoothly. And then Wadi mentioned something about gallery. He said, it's probably the most action-packed TDM map so far, and really it is. I've only played it a couple times. Like I said, I've been working, so I haven't really had much time to play it, but it really is one of the most action-packed maps so far, in TDM, that is. But yeah, and then the question and answer portion. If you don't want to hear about this, I suggest you stay. Usually I would be like, you don't really have to listen to this, but there were a lot of questions about map development and maybe future ideas, so I suggest you stay for it. If you don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, if you want to go watch the original VOD, feel free to go do that. Twitch.tv/criticalopsgame. Anyway, let's start Q&A. Someone asked about Old Brewery, and Nigel responded, no, what are you talking about? There's no such thing as Old Brewery. There is no Old Brewery. It was updated, just like Plaza is updated. Plaza is Plaza. Plaza rework is Plaza. And the brewery rework is brewery. There's no Old Plaza, no Old Brewery. There's just brewery and Plaza. Someone asked about reworks of other maps, and Nigel said that his intention was to rework all of the current maps, or at least the ones that he hasn't made, which is, I think the only one he's made is Raid and the TDM maps. He said simply because it'll allow the team to update the maps more often and address feedback from competitive players, layout changes, timings, etc. as well as making the maps perform better and improving the visual quality of the maps too, just takes a lot of time, which is also something that was stressed throughout the stream, is that map making takes a ton of time. Someone asked about a map for 50 people. Nigel responded, not really. There's not really any game modes for that kind of stuff. People have been, suggesting a battle royale mode. CFZ doesn't really want to add that yet, if at all. And there's not a game mode for 50 people. Like, you don't want to have a big TDM map. You don't want to have a big diffuse map or a small diffuse map. So you don't want a map for 50 people for what? He said he's trying to achieve how the maps relate to the game mode, and that goes about to what I said earlier. The layout is 90% of what the map is, and how it relates to the game mode. Someone asked if Nigel has a partner with creating maps. He says he does rely a bit on programmers and designers and artists to help make the maps playable. For example, trees, cars, plants, stuff like that. The artists make that. Programmers help to make sure everything works technically, and designers, let Nigel what kind of assets they have currently, so that he can make, he can have the idea of maybe the theme of the map and how to lay it out as well. Someone asked about free-for-all. Sounds cool, but Nigel noted that he doesn't really have anything to say for that regarding maps, because he doesn't think about, what they may add. He just focuses on diffuse and TDM, what's current, and that's all that he really focuses on to make maps, because, well, why make a free-for-all map when free-for-all isn't even in the game yet? Okay, so yeah. And then someone asked about where the Easter egg in the map was, if there was one, which we all know is the duck. And he said, no, of course not. I'm not going to tell you where it is. That'll ruin the surprise. So yeah, someone asked where the duck was, and he was like, no, it's going to ruin the surprise. So, duck hunt. I'll make a video of it, looking for it. And then someone asked about friends in practice mode. He said no plans for it at the moment. And then someone asked about interactive elements and maps. And I know, I think last time Nigel was on there, someone asked about it, and Nigel stated that right now it's not possible, but he wants there to be more interactive stuff in maps. And also, that's something he talks to the programmers about, to see if, it can maybe be possible in the future, or if they're, progressing towards it. But anything from moving platforms, doors, etc. would be something he wants, but it just isn't possible in the game industry right now. People were giving themes for maps, and Nigel responded that, you can't tell if a map is good just by its visuals, and this is what I was talking about earlier, for example, Canals and Plaza. If you switch the theme, the maps are the same. The layout is the core. The theme is about 10%. The layout is about 90% of the map. And then Waddy also mentions that, just him watching from the sidelines and seeing how all this works, is that so much work is involved with timings, the bomb sites, how the map performs, stuff like that. How can you use utility? Where can you use utility? Can you throw utility over the buildings in Plaza to get to a certain spot and smoke up a certain spot? Stuff like that. It just takes so much time to try and create and balance the maps. And Nigel also talked about how they're trying to improve the way they work on maps, to make the maps better, faster, stronger. He made a Daft Punk reference, which was pretty funny. And then someone again asked, are the maps going to be around the same size for each game mode, or the diffuse map's going to be around the same size that the current ones are, or the TDM map's going to be around the same size the TDMs are? And Nigel said most of the sizes for certain game modes are going to be about the same size, because you can't have a small diffuse map, and you can't have a huge TDM map. the maps again complement the game mode. And then someone asked what are the maps he's made. Nigel said he started in February of 2017, so all the maps after. Raid Division, he said, was a joint with Edwin. Brewery, Gallery, and Heat were all designed by him. All the previous levels were created by the other devs because someone had asked who the previous level designer was, and to put it, there was no. All the other devs were the previous level designers. It was just a joint team CFE effort to make the first. What was it? 3 maps: Canals, Plaza, and Legacy. Let me call them by their real names: Barcelona, Amsterdam, and Tokyo. God, it's been a while since I've used the names for those maps. But yeah, those were the first. And then Bureau, of course, was I guess right before Nigel came. So yeah, and that's another reason why he wants to rework most of those maps, because most of those maps have a couple of things in there that the devs didn't think of, that he thinks of when creating maps and stuff like that. Someone asked what map ideas he has, and Nigel asked, Nigel was talking here in terms of themes. He wants maps like, and he mentioned, he's not confirming that these are in the works, but if he had his choices, a map to do with jungle setting, a heavy industrial a modern industrial, setting. So like like a factory, underground layer, possibly for the breach. The breach is layer, kind of like how you have Bureau, nightclub. There's way too many ideas that they have. They even created a file that they have somewhere, that they have just a huge list of ideas. Also, Nigel said that he wants, stuff like training maps and fun maps, something not constrained to DVs and TDMs, map that have some weird quirk that makes them fun to play. He's working a lot of different ideas for that kind of stuff, and if it was up to him, all those ideas would be in the game, but of course, it just takes time. And yeah, that was about it. There were a couple of others during the Q&A games, but those are really just things that we've already heard about time and time again. So yeah, if you're still here, rather, if you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, if you would like to watch the full 2-hour VOD, don't forget to go to twitch.tv/criticalopsgame, see the whole thing. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.